चैट बॉक्स इसमें से देखिए जिसमें पार्टिसिपेंट ज्वाइन करते हैं साइड में। अब मीटिंग बंद हो गई हो, अगर आपने रिकॉर्ड की हो तो दिखेगी।
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Hannah.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone who all have joined. Let's wait for a couple of minutes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Suruchi. Let's start with today's class. Good morning, Ms. Reena.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sarah. Okay, so let's start with today's class. This is the subject International Business Management. Okay, so today we're going to study the subject International Business Management. Before starting with today's lecture, in WhatsApp group, I have shared one class code, which is the class link of Google Classroom. So all of you are supposed to type classroom.google.com on the tab of Google, and you can see a screen will disappear. And there's on the right corner, there's a plus button. If you click on that, you can join the class with that class code. So there I'm going to be adding up or uploading all my Word documents and PPTs, and the syllabus is also there. So you can visit that and be a part of that classroom, and you would be getting the assignments and other notifications on that classroom. Okay, so at the end of this class, you may type that code and you can be a part of that. So today's we would be discussing in first unit, that is the basic meaning of international business. So what is international business basically? It refers to the business across countries, could be any type of business activity that crosses national boundaries, or you can say it refers to the trading of goods, services, technology, capital, or knowledge across national borders, could be at global or transnational level. Now, if we're talking about international business, it has many more definitions to be incorporated in it. For example, if you're talking about international business, we can also say that the scope of international business not only includes the exchange of goods and services, rather it also includes the transfer of knowledge, skills, people, basically human resource traveling from one country to other, or technology, know-how, or information and other resources too. Now, international business has become massive in scales. It now exercises a significant influence over economic, social, and political life throughout the world. So this was just the basic meaning of international business. Now, if anyone has any question, you can put your microphone on one at a time, and you can have a conversation with me also. And all those who have joined 5 minutes late, it's my humble request, kindly be on time from next class. Okay, now I hope everyone has joined. So let's continue. Features, nature of international business. If you're talking about the features of international business, then our first feature, or you can say it could be changed, the word or synonym of it could be the nature of international business also. First is flow of capital across countries. What is flow of capital across countries? It basically means that international business is shaped with the trends in international money market, could be the capital market also. And if you're talking about the financial statement of any country, which includes your balance of payment, balance of trade, and the contribution to fiscal and monetary policies of the government. If you're talking about the fiscal policies, can I tell what do you understand by fiscal policies or monetary policies of the government? You can put your microphone on and you can answer in between. Anyone who's interested in answering, what is fiscal policy? Okay. Fiscal policy, revenue and expenditure policy of the government, which includes taxes, money collected through taxes or public debt, and simultaneously public expenditure, which the government incurs. Whereas if you're talking about the monetary policy is all the policy which is just designed by the Central Bank of India and RBI, you can say, and it basic aim is of controlling of inflation, and it includes open market operations, and it includes cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, and like that, bank rate, the design of the bank rate. So this all comes under the feature or heading of flow of capital across country, because these all dimensions should be considered when you are having a decision of going with your business that is on a global scale. Next is accurate and timely information required. Of course, if you are having at the back of your mind that you're going to have an international business, that means you would be requiring accurate and timely information in order to make your business, in order to make your decisions regarding going transnational to be more effective and more accurate. Next is market expansion. The goal of international business basically is market expansion. That means you are have the back of your mind that you're going to expand and with the aim of the profit maximization. The more, the deeper the penetration is in different markets, in different countries, the major objective of international business is achieved. Size of international business, of course, it depends largely on the availability of capital. अगर आपके पास कैपिटल कम है, ठीक है, तो आप इतना ज्यादा एक्सपैंड नहीं कर सकते हो. Or you can say the deeper presence of the foreign government, or you can say the larger the size of the business and deeper its impact in the international market is there, as you can expand globally with it also. So later on, we will study there are many more trade restrictions, okay, quotas implemented by the government on exports and imports. So some of them have been washed it off, and some of them have been removed by the government, but still are acting as a hindrances regarding international. Wider scope. The whole world is to be considered as market for business. If we are talking about international business, it includes international marketing also. It includes technology exchange, international finance, management of foreign exchange, and its scope is wide. Next is more potential than domestic market. So international market usually possesses more potential as it has its presence across the globe, which widens its horizons, customer base, and you're going to get varied options available in front of you, which you would not be having when you were doing the business within the domestic boundaries. Market segmentation, next point. So international business has to segment its market. In order, if you're going to carry your business in one of the prospective markets, you have to segment it or divide it into smaller segments, which could be divided on the basis of the geographical area, be the demography, or could be cultural perspectives. All of this should be taken into consideration. And last is inter-country comparison. International business usually goes with the studies of business opportunities, threats. Also, there are many threats. Then the consumer traits and technological advancements is one of the key features which should be taken into consideration. This helps in a comparative study between various components of two countries, assessment of inter-country similarities, differences, and this could help in analyzing your market potentials. And first, you should go with analyzing the market potentials of different countries, and then you should decide whether you should go for expanding it or not. Any questions in these points?
No, ma'am.
What about others? Few answers I can see in the chat box. Any questions, any doubts? Because there might be chances that I'm not going to give you the elaborated form of these points. So you're supposed to, when I am delivering this, you are supposed to write down in your copy few lines, because there might be chances that I'm not giving you the explanation of each and every point. So it's better note it down and it's better understand it at this point only. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, now first we would be discussing under the scope of international business merchandise, exports and imports. If you're talking about international business, you'll go through it and means simply you are exchanging goods that are tangible, okay, from one country to another. This means the completely export and import of goods. Importing, you're importing some raw materials from the country, just manufacturing it, okay, and just getting it into a finished product and then again exporting it to some other country. So one of the scope is your merchandise imports and exports, that is transferring tangible goods from one foreign country to another foreign country. Next, we are talking about service exports and imports. First, exports and imports could be in the form of international human resource, which the expatriates, or you can say impatriates is the word, where one human being transfers with its abundant knowledge and skills from one country to another, or etc. could be the things in this case. Now, very important point here in the scope is licensing and franchising. So, licensing and franchising, just a second. Okay, very important point, as it is sometimes asked in short questions also. Explain licensing and franchising with one example. So इसको थोड़ा सा हम अच्छे से समझते हैं. What is licensing and what is franchising? Okay, and there's a difference also between them. So many students say it is just a common thing, and so it is not common, which we are going to study today. I would be giving you one simple example. All of you might have listened the name of Walt Disney. Walt Disney का नाम सबने सुना होगा, ठीक है, famous for its cartoon characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, ठीक है. ये एक artist का imagination है, which has been going popular around the since a decade, I can say. तो इसमें आपने ये देखा होगा कि बहुत बार आप कहीं भी परचेजेस करने जाते हो, सो यू कैन फाइंड ऑन द टी शर्ट्स, ऑन बैग्स, ऑन बिल्स, there is the character, the cartoon character of Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse. So it is just anyone apart from Walt Disney who's manufacturing these products. Anyone who wants to manufacture this product, like a t-shirt, or you can say among with this cartoon character Donald Duck, so you have to enter into an agreement with the farmer to gain a right to use these characters on your merchandise for some consideration, and then you are empowered to sell the same. So this is what is called licensing. Basically, अगर आप किसी के भी कैरेक्टर को या किसी आर्टिस्टिक इमेजिनेशन को आप यूज कर रहे हो, तो यू आर सपोज्ड टू हैव in written or the grant of a right from the farmer or from the registered owner, so that you can use these characteristics and again you can sell the same. And this is done for some consideration, but you have supposed to pay. And if you're talking about franchising, so franchising is different. Like if we are talking about, there are many outlets of Pizza Hut and Domino's going around the various countries. So if a Pizza Hut or a Domino's is trying to give this right, okay, you can also have the franchisee and can sell under my reputed name. So what they are not only giving you the right to sell their own signature dishes, rather you would be getting a market reputation also. So when it comes to Pizza Hut or Domino's, they enter into a agreement with the interested party, okay, and you are allowed to sell their recipe specifically of pizza, or under the brand name which is built up years is not at stake. Or you can say that the companies which enter into these kind of agreements is called franchisee, where you're not only allowing an individual to use the name, that is Domino's or Pizza Hut, but also you are delivering the technical know-how also, the art of that, what ingredients they are using, okay, and how they would be making their product exactly the same. And for this, you have exchanged some of the royalty. Royalty is just that the use, if you're using somebody's patent right or something, that you are paying some sum of money. So this is what is all with the example. Now, if we come to the theory of it, so basically, क्या होता है? this is like a franchisee is a type of which allows you to have an access to somebody else's business or knowledge or trademark, and for this you have to give some of the fees, and that was the formula. Any question in this, or anyone which want to contradict this with their own example or what you have learned in past?
Ma'am, in
You can
franchisee, we also have to like pay to that one. That मतलब
exactly
जिसका हम ले
in
रहे हैं.
both in both the things you have to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? Okay, so can you write one example each for licensing and one example each under franchising? So this is one of your basic things. You can go in the Google and have a research on this, and you have to give one example on licensing and one example on franchising. And this we'll discuss in our next class. Okay, next let's move to another part, that is foreign investment. Foreign investment is another important form of international business. Now, foreign investment आपका क्या करता है? It involves investments of funds abroad in exchange for financial return. Foreign investment can be of types. Okay, direct investment, जब आप directly invest कर रहे हो किसी की भी country में जाकर के by purchasing a land, by purchasing a building, or starting up your own new startup. ठीक है. Another is portfolio investment, जहाँ पे आप like shares वगैरह में invest करते हो. This is all about foreign investment. Next is your monopoly power. Now monopoly power आपका क्या होता है? It might arise from patent rights. ठीक है, आपने कहीं पे पेटेंट राइट एक्वायर कर लिया या कोई टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांटेजेस है आपके. ठीक है. अनदर रीजन फॉर कुड बी दिस इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन. आप एक फॉरेन कंट्री में गए जहाँ पे मार्केट बहुत लिमिटेड थी. ठीक है, आपने उधर इन्वेस्ट किया. ठीक है, नाउ यू हैव गेन मोनोपोली राइट. That means you're the sole owner of the producer of a good and the seller of the. So that could be one of the things. Benefiting from currency exchange. ठीक है, अगर आप कोई चीज प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो और आप फॉर एग्जाम्पल डॉलर का वैल्यू कम है. ठीक है, तो डॉलर वैल्यू कम है तो आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट कर सकते हो बिकॉज पीपल वुड बी विलिंग टू बाय. और जब पीपल ज्यादा खरीद रहे हैं आपका सामान तो आपको इससे बहुत ज्यादा बेनिफिट होता है. You can benefit and through the favorable currency exchange rates also. These all things we would be studying more in detail in future when we would be moving to unit 4 and 5. तो ये सब हम और डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे with examples. नेक्स्ट आपका है स्कोप में लिमिटेशन ऑफ डोमेस्टिक मार्केट. तो बहुत बार ये होता है कि हमारे पास डोमेस्टिकली हम अपना गुड प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं लेकिन हमें उतना ज्यादा इस पे आप ये कह सकते हो कि उस चीज को लेकर के आप डोमेस्टिकली उसे सेल आउट नहीं कर सकते. देयर आर लेस पीपल. ठीक है, अब डिमांड कम हो रही है, आपके डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में इतनी डिमांड नहीं है, तो यू कैन गो टूवर्ड्स द फॉरेन मार्केट एंड आप वहां पे अपना गुड सोल्ड आउट कर सकते हो एंड यू कैन हैव एन ऑप्शन फॉर ग्रोथ ऑल्सो. So basically this can help you to explore more foreign markets available. Increased revenue is one of the more important things, or you can say advantage. आप domestically भी produce कर रहे हो, sold out कर रहे हो, and again simultaneously if you have taken up your business abroad, then you can also add up to a number of countries and you can have a new paths to business growth, or you can say increased revenues. Of course, next point is growth opportunities. आप कहीं भी किसी भी foreign market में, whether it is coming under developed country or whether it's coming under the developing country, it provides considerable expansion opportunities for the firm. And basically जो भी आपके MNCs होते हैं, like multinational corporations, they always have sole objective that they are going to penetrate in the developing countries with increasing their income and approximately going through the foreign markets after the opportunities available to them. So there are many growth opportunities also which the firm achieves when it penetrates in more of the foreign markets or countries. expansion and diversity. Of course, you are expanding from one of the domestic areas to many more countries in the world. So you're expanding, and simultaneously, not only expansion of business, you may go into different product lines also, okay, and can earn a huge amount of profits. Maybe one of the product which you thought through your research and development that could work good at a foreign country but not in your own country, so you can explore that opportunity in the foreign market by producing it there and selling it there. So you can take the advantage of diversifications on product lines. Next is opportunity to specialize. Now international markets can open up avenues for new lines of services also, as I have just explained. So you can get an opportunity to specialize in some of the dimension in which earlier you were not. So this could be taken as an opportunistic way. So any questions still here?
Ma'am, monopoly power. Ma'am, please explain it again.
Okay, what is monopoly in basic layman language? Monopoly क्या होती है? What is
Ma'am,
single seller? Who wants to say? Please just one after the another. So it could be a more interactive session. What is monopoly? We have studied this. Monopoly is very simple.
Ma'am, single seller and single buyer.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, so single seller, basically the thing which comes under our mind when we talk of monopoly in basic layman language. Very good, Diksha. There is a single seller and large number of buyers. So Kajal, your answer is also correct. And if you are a single seller in any place, or you can say in any country you took your business and you are the only exclusive seller, so you can have the right to decide the prices as per your wish and will. तब आप डिमांड सप्लाई को आप इग्नोर करके चल सकते हो, आप ओनली सेलर हो, एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी assume that there is a lot of demand in the market for your product, and the customer cannot go and buy from any other outlet or any producer, so you can fix the prices as per your wish. So ये आपका monopoly power is available, but this is the case only when you have taken a product line or you have diversified in a product line which you are the sole producer in that country. There is no other producer, only then you can decide your prices. And if there are few sellers, like 3 to 4 sellers or producers are there, then the term which comes into is the oligopoly. So we are not going into detail, that's the part of the economics. So here the basic meaning of the monopoly power is this, that if you are going in some of the country to sell your product and you have diversified in a specific line or a specific product line and you are the sole seller, so you can fix the prices as per your wish. And if the customer, if there is demand for your product, then they would be willing to pay whatever you are charging. Anything else from these points? Okay, now we have discussed the scope of international business, the features and the nature of international business. Now I want to have one answer from you all. These are only the points written in these slides. I have explained it to you in my words. Would you be able to express or expand these points? Or you want a full theory of this? Be very honest, because don't write rubbish in examination. So if you want the theory, please, I want to know. Or you would be able to explain.
Ma'am, theory.
Ma'am, theory.
Saying this.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
You may write this in the chat box also so I can go through it.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm giving you 2 minutes. All those who want them, they want the clear explanation of this written explanation, you may write it down. Okay. Okay, so I got the answer. So let's come to this important point. One of your assignment for today's class is you're going to give one example each in licensing and in franchising with the explanation. Okay, and you would be writing a theory also in that, a basic theory of 3 to 4 lines along with one example each. In next class, we would be discussing the need for international business and drivers of international business, which is again very important point. This was the basic class, the basic thing which we have discussed today. Now, one important announcement. I'm showing you something on my screen. Just note it down, or you can do it simultaneously in your computer also. So you're able to be a part of the Google Classroom, in which I'm going to share my notes and I would be taking up the assignments. So you can simply write on track classroom.google.com, and just simply enter. A screen will appear, and on this, on your extreme right side, you can see, you would be having a blank page. Not this page will be coming to your screen. You'll be seeing on the left side a plus button. If you click on this plus button, you will get 2 options: join the class or create the class. If you click to join the class, you have to enter a class code, which I have forwarded to your on your personal WhatsApp group of International Business Management. Type that code and you're going to be the part of this class. And if you enter this class, then you can see here I have already posted our syllabus, and I'm going to post today's notes also here on this platform. So make sure you are able to access to it. And if anyone of you is having any problem, you can call me and we can talk. I hope I am clear. Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next class, we'll continue with the need for international business and the drivers for international